Our other one, obviously, is the First Citizen Award. What I want to do, though, I noticed Dan was going through and recognizing all the previous winners. This is my first time at this, so I wouldn't recognize you in a police lineup, a lot of them. But I know a lot of them are here. I know Dead Body is here from last year. If there are any other, seriously, any other past First Citizen winners, if you could please rise. There's Deb back there. I'm not sure who else is here. The introduction of this year's winner is doesn't really need to be an introduction. Who doesn't know Jack and Patt Kirksey? Everybody in the room knows what they're all about. They know what Jack is all about. He was in the air for 16 of the last 20 years. Everywhere Jack's gone, he's been a leader. He started out as a youngster as a lifeguard at Belle Isle. He wasn't just a lifeguard, he was the head lifeguard. So he's been a leader everywhere he's been. He's been a school principal, he's been an administrator, he's been a state representative, he's worked for the district court. He's done pretty much anything you can do in public service. He spent, as I said, 16 of the last 20 years. He was the unquestioned leader here in the city. For crying out loud, in the building after the guy when he retired. So they don't just do that for, I don't have money. So they don't do that for just anybody. But it isn't just Jack. You have the woman behind him, Jack's wife, Patt. She's been at his side and sometimes out in front of him, leading the way through all of his successes. Jack himself will tell you that he couldn't have done anything that he's achieved in life without Patt. But it isn't just that Pat's the brilliant woman behind the man. Patt has carved out her own career, her own success. She's been an educator for 3 decades. She spent more than 3 decades as an educator in the community, molding young minds, teaching young people. For the brief period last year, I worked for the mayor, and I heard stories of students who would come back and remember Patt. During that time also, I spent about 7 months working. For 7 months I was doing Dave Varga. So I got to get a sense of how they operated in the city and the inside, the thought processes that were behind some of the decisions that were made in the city. Since I've been back in the newspaper business, that's given me a different perspective on stories that we've written. So that part, was short-lived. It really kind of changed how I approach my own life now. So Jack has had that kind of impact on me. Plus, and anybody who's tasted Pat's cooking would know, I had the privilege of being at their table a couple of times, and I stole both recipes. Took them home and made them with a much smaller degree of success for my own kids. Of course, that's all neither here nor there. That's not why we're honoring Jack and Patt tonight, although it certainly gives an insight. The fact they welcome me into their home and their welcome, it gives an insight to the kind of people they are. But tonight we honor Jack and Patt Kirksey for their accomplishments, for their dedication to the community, and most of all, for their total love for Livonia. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack and Patt Kirksey.
Pat has allowed me to speak this evening. Here with daughter Amy, and Amy was our first anniversary gift, right on the day of our first anniversary. Do you think we planned it that way? Our children have been absolutely marvelous children, and they are the product of their marriage. Pat is the one who we all turn to. I get a call from Matt's in Utah, Jason in Colorado, Amy's here in Livonia, and when the phone call rings at the house, I say, is Mom there? I've been put down many times over the years, so I've grown to accept it. But she indeed is a marvelous, marvelous person. And when I first, will you put it just one more time here? Okay. When I first met her, we lived on the east side of Detroit, back when you leave Brewster Taylor, Sinbad's, and up toward Jefferson. That's the street that I lived on during that time. Patricia came from a much more well-to-do family, so she was maybe a half a mile away from that neighborhood. But we would have never met. That was going to St. Philip's High School at that time. I was going to Southeastern High, doing the 10th grade second time, and they did much better. But we went to a dance at the Y, there's the Boy Girls Club, and I went to that dance and I saw this absolutely charming petite girl talking across the way, and I said, I'm just hoping I'll have a chance to meet her, get to know her better. And we did get to know one another better. We walked from where you turn to go down to Sinbad's, I was recognized where that is. And we would walk back about 2 miles east on Jefferson Avenue, and then head about another mile up north from that. So I would walk her home from these dances, and in addition to our love growing deeper, I became more physically adept. So that was good. But she is the person that's made it all work, and the story she's heard 1,000 times, and I don't think she'll tolerate it again. I'll catch it later on. This evening is we were taking one of these Caribbean cruises on one of the larger ships. And so we were standing and talking on one of the decks, and we saw a young couple cross the deck with a young child. And they looked over our way, and they started coming over. And so I knew they wanted to get close up, maybe to touch me. Talk to me, perhaps. Share a thought. And so I was once again embracing for what comes with fame and so forth, humility. So they came across, and I'm pulling shoulders back a bit, and they're saying, Miss Patt, you saved our marriage. And she did, for 36 years, she did a parenting course that they thought, and correctly so, that she is miraculous, and she is. And our daughter Amy, our gift on the first anniversary, and her brothers have made our lives absolutely outstanding. We're tremendously honored by this award, and Patricia and I your half-hour speech time.
I have no speeches. I'm just saying thank you for this fantastic